This here is Hammer. This is what you're going to create your very first map in for Counter-Strike Source, which is a modification for the Half-Life 2 engine. As you can see, it's pretty blank. There's nothing in here, and all of these are grayed out. This is because there's nothing actually within the file. We need to go to File and New. This opens up all of these frames. This is going to be the 3D camera, but there is nothing there actually to view. You've got the top, you've got the side, you've got the front. You have to click onto this block tool. This is what the walls, floor and ceiling are made out of. You click with the left button and you drag. It creates a box. As you can see on the side views, its default is whatever you've got the mesh at. You can right click on any of these windows, then click Create Object. Here you can't see anything because your view is not focused on it. Make sure you have the block selected. Then click on View, center 3D View on Selection. Here you can see the actual object. If you are to use the arrow keys and WASD keys, you can maneuver around. As you can see here, you have the 3D box. If I am to move it around in one of the 3D views, it moves around. Now, this you cannot fully see how big it is, so it is not much use. This is the block. So what we need to do is go into Entities. Entities is everything else within the world. This can be flames, it can be smoke, it is even where the player starts. What we do is we click on Entities, then we go over here to the Entities section. You can move these around to make it easy for yourself as well. We click on Entities is what we want, then we want Info Player Terrorist, which is default setting because we are using the Counter-Strike Source mode for this hammer. We just select it here, make it there selected, and we click. As you can see, whoops, made another one. This is a character which is going to resemble our player. That is what size he is compared to in the game as well. This means if you were to make this wall, this is how big his place is. You can also zoom in and out of these by scrolling in and out when you have it highlighted. Same for the 3D view. A shortcut which will become very handy for you is when you hold Shift and then you left click and drag an object. As you can see on the 3D view, it dragged it up. It makes a complete copy of whatever you just dragged. This is useful because now you can make all of the walls very simply and very easily. You can click on the wall, then you drag down. Yes, it is going for the person, and this is a bad thing. What we need to do is have all 6 faces of this sealed off, but not overlapping. As you can see there, a wall. It's not overlapping any of the boxes. It's flush with inside its space. You can do the same here as well. And then you drag over the side. Let me just get a better view for you. From here, you drag and you stretch all neatly inside the box. The player is not going within the walls, and the walls are not going within the player. You hold Shift, you drag. We now have a cube completely sealed, and if you go inside of it, you can see our player. Within here, we can't do anything unless we have light, otherwise this box will be completely black. So we go into the Entities, and we go down to Light. There are many lights, but these are all advanced ones, which you do not need to worry about for your first map. Click on Light, and you simply click where you'd want it. So we want it on the 3D view, so we click there. This is going to be a light source. Now then, within the Source engine, there is a very important key, which is the details and the graphics of them. And the way that the shading is figured out is by using cube maps. If you do not have an env cube map inside your map will not function correctly. You'll notice that in the shadows, items, props will glow. So what you need to do is you go into the Entities Guide and you want to search for Env Cube Map. You put one of these generally inside the dark area and one inside the light area. This is going to be good enough for our map. Then we click F9. Which will ask if I would like to save the map. Yes. You choose where you'd like to save it to. I'm going to save it to the desktop to make things shorter and simpler. My example map. And then you click save. After this you are brought to this menu which shows you what you'd like to do. Be warned, when you have done a lot of mapping on one area, or for a whole map, rendering time, which is compiling the map so you can play it, may take quite some time. But for now this map will only take a few seconds. I do not want to run the game, but you will want to, I guess. So you want to leave this here unchecked, but I do not want it. So I click there, I click OK. This is it compiling the map. It's just showing you a complete log of everything which is going on. Sorry, we just have to wait a little bit, and there we go. Map is compiled as soon as this finishes. Here we go. Now there is a map compiled at this location. It is successful because if you go up here, there are no warnings. If you see a warning around this area in capital letters, it will say approximately what is the problem. Thank you for listening to this map. If you now open that map within the game Counter-Strike Source or any Source engine, you will now be able to play your little box room. Thank you for listening.